Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Paul Tesseyman from Ottawa, Ontario, and I'm the co-host tonight with Kelly Ronsyn. Kelly, are you on?
I am, Paul. Thanks very much. Welcome, everyone.
And it's a pleasure doing this call with you, Kelly. I know that we've done a few of these calls before, and it's always an honor and pleasure to do this. So welcome on the call, Kelly, and I look forward to doing this. And tonight we're going to be talking about the success principles. And this is success cycle, really. And part of the success cycle is what you see on your screen right now. Hopefully you see it. I don't have it here, but you should be able to see it on your phone or on your computer. And basically the success cycle, I am sharing my screen right now, I think. Give me a moment, I'll just check. I just paused screen sharing, so yes, we are sharing the screen now. And the success principles, there's 5 of them. You've got to decide what you want out of life, what you want to do. I'll just get the muting here in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got everybody muted, and these are the success principles, and we have 5 of them. Decide what you want to do. Decide where you want to be in the next 2 to 5 years, and look at the 2-year mark and how you're going to get there. And decide what you're willing to give up to get it. I mean, there is a sacrifice involved. There's a sacrifice of time. There's a sacrifice of some finance. There's a sacrifice of travel. There's a sacrifice of not watching possibly the Toronto Raptors game tonight live. You can put it on mute as you're listening to this call and go back to the Toronto Raptors tonight later on, because they're in one of the big games tonight. But you know what? You've got to decide that you're willing to give up something. Sacrifice is huge, and you've got to find a mentor, because a mentor doesn't have to be alive. It could be somebody who's passed away, like Jim Rohn, but it could be somebody who's alive. It could be somebody in the organization. It could be somebody in Max. And this is to gain knowledge and to help you direct that knowledge to a certain event, right? And you've got to develop a plan. I mean, we talk about the map. Get people in with a momentum package, get them on auto ship, and get them to Prime. Even after the 31st of May, when our promotion is finished, you should still be initiating the map process. Momentum, auto ship, and Prime for the people that you bring in. And the thing is, no matter how much you do in regards to the knowledge and developing a plan and deciding all this stuff, you've got to take action. It's so important that you act on what you've already learned and what you want to do and where you want to go. And you've got to execute that. Kelly?
Yeah, so now we have the map. And as Paul was mentioning, it's about a process and getting people started. And, the whole Dominican Republic, earn your points was all about the map, was creating the behaviors that you should take your business right from the start. That was the whole incentive, and there were some great points behind it. If you created the map process with your new associates, you were able to earn 2,500 points. The map was selecting a package. Of course, of our 3 packages, it was the great value of $495 US, where you got a lot of great product that would normally be wholesale at $672 US. And it's a perfect package to get people started, because it's enough product. Even though I would go for the Premier Pack, the Momentum Pack gave a great range of all of our products with the exception of the Meta Switch. And it was a great start to the business where people could start to really share, and they had a great value. So it was all about building that in terms of the decision making to get them on the Momentum Pack and showing the value and helping them build a plan to move and share with people that are interested in those products and working together with your new associate. Then setting up a minimum of 2 products. So it was about the auto ship, 100 CV for the first month, and then qualifying for Prime 1. Or any of the primes, actually. So it was about the behavior. That was the whole idea behind the map process. So now, after the promotion, I'm sure there's going to be another promotion that really instills this behavior. It's going to, this is exactly the process that you want to take your new associate through.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're going to talk about the learn and applying the success cycle. And we have 9 steps here. And I know you, Kelly, and Linda basically amended and rewrote a bit of the new associate orientation. So I'll get you to just kind of explain in a few words the number one there, the new associate orientation.
Absolutely. So the key is when the new associate, the first goal is to go on to activeteam.com, and they will receive a welcome letter and a link to the new associate orientation. So it was really revised. There's a reference sheet that kind of itemizes everything in a one-page document, and then on top of that, then we had a guide that is, that you see in other countries, but it gave a step-by-step process. So now that a new associate is able to go through that new associate orientation, you go through that with them, where to, that they should have that in front. Spend some time with them to get them started off right. It shows even how to set up a new associate, a preferred customer, where to go on the conference calls, all those things that they need to plug into on a weekly basis, daily basis. So we revised it. It's a great guide, as well as the reference sheet, and it's automatic. As soon as they go on to activeteam.com, and they're welcomed with this link to this new associate. So it's really important to get them started so they know where all the tools are, their calls are. This is how you're going to be successful, by plugging them into the system.
Absolutely. And in every country we're in, we have a new associate orientation. We have one in Africa, Nigeria, and Ghana. We have one in the Philippines. So we're doing the congruent activity. And the new associate orientation is the Bible. You've got to read that and action it, and all your references are there, as Kelly mentioned. Now, next week, on Monday, I'll be hosting the call, but you'll only hear my voice for a few seconds at the beginning and a few seconds at the end, because Kelly and Linda Coffin are going to be talking about what they did on the new associate orientation for the amendments and what it's all about. So we're going to get into a bit more detail on that, because we have a feeling that a lot of people aren't really getting into the new the NAO, and it's important that you do that, as Kelly mentioned. The second item is the personal why. We got to have a reason why you got involved in the company, and this is going to be the why that makes you cry, and it's going to be substantial. It's got to be emotional. Why did you get involved? Not just to make money, because that's not a real good why. That's what you're going to do. But what are you going to do with the money? What are you going to do with that? What's it going to do for you and your family? What about the help you're going to get? What about the people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and the people that are sick and tired of being poor, or living paycheck to paycheck? And you've got to have an everyday statement. What do you wake up with in the morning? Who am I going to be a hero to this morning or today? That came up in the cruise. It's absolutely amazing. How many people am I going to be talking with today? An everyday statement which you can read in your mirror as you're getting dressed and what have you. Attitude training. What kind of attitude do you wake up with? Is it a negative attitude? Is it a positive attitude? Are you ready to take on the world? That's the kind of attitude you should have. And sometimes it's difficult because of things that people are going through on a day-to-day basis. Building your list. This should be a priority. We're talking about the NEO, and one of the things in that is building your list, making a list of at least 200 people, but settle for 50 and then add to it, because people who go through their list aren't doing it correctly. Every day you talk to people, you should be adding them to your list. Even if you don't talk to them about Max, add them to your list, because it's important. Prospecting, we should be talking to at least 2 people a day. Are you kidding me? On my 7 o'clock call? 5 people a day is what you should be looking at. And if you get 3 or 4, that's great. But aim for 5, not just 2. Just talk to people. Meet people all the time. Inviting, how to do the invites. Very, very important. And we have skill trainings on that. Same with the follow-ups and the third-party credibility. These are definitely money-making activities. And how to do an effective one-on-one presentation with the business plan, the folder that opens up. And that's what we should be doing on a weekly, if not daily basis, is doing that. So this is applying the skills for the success cycle to get you where you want to go.
Okay, Paul, we're just to let you know, the first slide is not changing. That's what we've been, you can also find it on Active Team under Documents, English, and Success Cycle. Paul, if you can, we're all seeing just the first slide, okay? So.
No, okay. Well, go ahead. You might read this, and I'll see what I can do here.
Yeah, so the next one is the important links, and it's really important that everybody is aware of these links. The Max.com is often, when I'm sending more additional information, I won't put my number on it, I'll just make the reference to Max.com. the blog.max.com is really important to keep up to date on what is happening, because it's also a marketing tool. Max does a great job in terms of itemizing a marketing spin on it, and really letting everyone know the current things that are happening in Max business. The GoSeeMax.com, VoirMax.com is your English and French version. They have the Go See Max is the science video, the trading time for money. Those are the first two when you're prospecting that we typically send, and that's also on the new associate orientation, as well as a full presentation that we recorded from the last convention that we did in Toronto. And then the VoirMax.com, Lucy Caron did a great job in terms of doing that presentation, our standard presentation in French. And of course, Active Team, a huge wealth of information. So that's why we're saying as soon as the new associate starts, you need to get them registered onto that. That's the first priority, so they get the welcome letter and the NAO. But you've got, over 200-300 tracks of calls for the Go for Diamonds, Tammy's Breakthrough Program, the doctor's calls. There's so much information where all our documents are kept, trainings, audios, all of those sort of things. So these are really important links that the new associate needs to know.
Maybe that's sharing now. Hang on a second. I'm just going to try it now and see if it's coming up. But if not, we'll go to the next slide. So I can't do much about that.
We're on the Prime bonus, so it is changing. Thanks, Paul.
No, we should be on the important links right now, if that's what's on there.
That's right, we are.
And that's yours.
Okay, so we've just covered that, and now we'll move on to the Prime bonus.
All right, so let's talk about the Prime bonus. And this one is, in fact, a 2 or 3 slide presentation here that'll give you, the Prime bonus is very important. You've got to have 3 people that you personally sponsor with 500 points. That's a minimum. And those are the 2 criteria. 3 people that are personally sponsored by you with 500 points between them. Chances are, though, if they all come in with the minimum, you're not going to have 500 points. You're going to have 300. So what we suggest you do is bring in 5 people in the first month. And that 5 people, they're on the minimum. You'll have 500 points, and you'll have a minimum of 3 people. You have more than that, but that's what you need. And what that gives you is Prime bonus level 1, where you receive up to $75 US. And that's the beginning of the magic. And this is you. You've got your 3 people, and they've got 500 points. Hang on, let me just set it up here. Hang on a second. Okay, so we've got that done. And now let's continue. So you've got 3 people that have 500 points between them, and you need an extra 2 to do that, possibly if they're on the minimum, as I mentioned, and you receive up to $75 US. Now, once you help them earn up to $75 US by getting them to level 1, by helping them, by supporting them, you will now become level 2, earning up to $375 US. So it's a duplication of the simple process. And as you duplicate this and you help them and support them to earn up to $375, which means level 2, then you will become level 3, making up to $1,500 US. And certainly this is just one way of making money in Max International. So here we are right here. That's you. You brought in your 5 people. Only 3 have to do it. You're level 1. Your responsibility right now is to help the people that you just sponsored do the same thing as I just mentioned. And they duplicate those processes by duplicating the circles below each one of them. And your personals become level 1, and you become level 2, making $375. If we continue the duplication process, you will become level 3 because your personals become level 2, and you're making up to $1,500 US. Now, every time one of these people becomes level 1, you're adding 500 points to the heart and soul of the commission structure, which is the binary team. Kelly?
Okay, so the binary team is really our business model in the industry, meaning that people need to put either on the right or the left side. So if you think about the Prime bonus, about building blocks of 500 points and getting your new associates and their new associates to level 1, that is the magic, and that is how you're going to grow your organization on the left and the right side. And this slide depicts that. So when you do that, you are helping the people brought into the business as Paul has mentioned, and then duplicating the process, then the company is rewarding you by moving you up to different levels for helping your teams to do that. And this is what this slide is all about. So think about the prime bonus. If you are helping all of your associates, their associates, et cetera, around the world, building to prime one, you can see on the left side that your organization is going to grow massive. And that's what this is all about with the prime bonus. And then, of course, up to level 3 is what you can earn, that Paul mentioned, up to $1,500. So if we continue on to the next slide, that's where all of the volume starts to really build. And what happens is that it can go to infinite depth, and that's where you start to climb in terms of the actual ranks and the higher incomes. And the first thing is for anyone is to get an active person on their left, an active person on the right. And that means that you're going to qualify for most of the commissions, and you're going to be a what we call a senior associate. But on the right-hand side, you see the monthly income. So as your organization continues to grow and grow, what you're going to find is at the end of the month, the system will total up, and you see the values on the left-hand side and you know, what the ranks are called. But most importantly, it's the income. So you want to match your plan that you've got with the business to the monthly income that you want to achieve. And a lot of people start to climb in terms of the ranks, and then they start shooting for the diamond, which is exactly what Paul and I are both doing, working really
Absolutely.
hard. Yes, and so also too, you start to see, because we're in that worldwide momentum, and now we are everywhere, you know, and there's growth happening all over the world. Crown Diamonds, we've now got 7 in the world. And that means that, and they're growing at a faster rate than they ever have before, because all of our tools, everything is built. So these incomes are really real, but it depends on your plan, it depends on your commitment, and how focused and what kind of money that you want to do, and then work with the person that your mentor, and help you achieve your goals.
Absolutely, very well put, Kelly. And you know, it's all based on the success cycle that we covered earlier. And you know, your distance to your dreams and reality is called action. And you know, this guy walking that straight line to the future, to his dreams in the horizon, I can guarantee you, the road isn't paved like this. It hasn't got the white lines on the side, and it's not going to be straight like this. It's not going to be like this. It's going to be curved. It's going to be uphill and downhill. There's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be trees in your path. There's going to be obstacles in your way, rocks falling from certain mountains and what have you. It is not going to be exactly where you want it to be. It's not going to be like this. It's going to be a road, but it's going to have the curves and ups and downs. You know, being a pilot, I had to turn 90 degrees to my destination sometimes to get away from thunderstorms, go up or down depending on what weather I had. I got headwinds, tailwinds, side winds. I got turbulence. And you know what? You're going to have the same situation as you're walking this road. Believe me, it's not going to be it's not going to be paved with stone or with pavement like this, and it's not going to be straight. But you will get to your destination if you continue following it.
I agree, Paul. Mine was more like a roller coaster. But now I've got some real momentum, so it doesn't quite look like that anymore. But here's the Max Action Report, and Tammy often goes through this in her documents on the Breakthrough Program. And this is a great report to send on a weekly basis in terms of the person that is mentoring you and your accountability partner, because it really does show what your activities were for the week, how many contacts you made, how many videos did you send, how many did you follow up with, you know, the tools that you sent, and then the enrollments. What was your impact from all that work that you did? If everything is blank and you're expecting to be a diamond, well, it's just not going to happen. So your accountability partner is going to work with you on this sheet, and also take a look, even if you are doing a lot of work, maybe you're not doing smart work, maybe you're not quite doing the correct activities, or you're not sending the right tools, etc. So the Max Action Report is great to go with your accountability to evaluate what has happened through your week, and it will give you into a great pattern of working with them and helping them mentor to succeed in what you want to achieve out of your Max business.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at the diamond mindset. And you know what? The common reality is that to get to the diamond reality, you have to have the diamond mindset initially. You have to be there in your mind. You have to be doing the diamond activity. You have to think like a diamond. This is the diamond mindset. And once you're doing the diamond activity and think like a diamond, you will be a diamond. It will come your way.
Totally agree with that. So here we have a great slide, and this is a slide in terms of the, apparently children can solve this. Maybe some of you have seen it in less than 20 seconds, and adults struggle with it. So there's a point to this. So just try and figure it out. What's the number under the car? Okay. So...
Oh, hang on, guys. I told you to change. There we go.
Okay, so the number of the car is 87. So children can get this in apparently 20 seconds because the reason why they do that is that, you know, and the whole point to it is when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So it's just finding different ways to look at your business and finding different ways to approach it, and always moving, always growing, always trying to find if something's not working, what do you need to do to make it work, and look at it from very different perspectives, or talk to different people to get those perspectives to help you move into a different direction.
So let's take a look at the diamond mindset here, and I'll talk about the first one, you know, to drop your fears. I mean, this is one of the things that we all have to do. False evidence appearing real. Fear of failure. Fear of success, which is not there. Fear of rejection is a huge one. And, you know, fear, unfortunately, stops people in their tracks. Fear creates inactivity, no income. And it also creates failure, permanent failure. Not failure, which is a step process, but it stops people from getting to where they want to be in life. So drop your fears and do what's required to get out of your comfort zone and do the things that you're fearful about.
Also be willing to learn and unlearn. This is a big one for me because I come from the sales world. And, you know, when people say, well, I don't want to sell products, it's a lot more than that. So I had to unlearn a lot of those sales techniques that I learned my whole career. And this is a different industry. I had to really, you know, when you're looking at sales, it's basically do your pitch, you know, close the deal, do a quick presentation, and it's done. Well, we all know that this is a very different industry. So I had to unlearn some of those skills and transfer some of the skills that were applicable to the business.
Absolutely. And remember, too, if I can add, Kelly, the unlearning process could be a process that is a continual process. For some people, the unlearning, getting rid of the learning that took place when they were adolescents and kids, is stuck and ingrained. And to get rid of that, it's going to take a lifetime. But continue working on it, guys, because it will be beneficial if you can get rid of some of that stuff. So let's talk about whether it's easy or difficult. It's about whether it is worth it. I mean, if you think it's going to be easy, it'll be easy. If you think it's going to be difficult, it's going to be difficult. You're right. It depends on what you think. Your cells are listening to what you're saying, and they will agree with you. But it's all about whether is this worth it? Is getting out of my full-time job, is it worth it? Getting out of a paycheck to paycheck, getting out of the lifestyle that I have to live to get into the lifestyle I want, deserve, and desire to live. Not just for you, but also for your family. And also, let's not forget the health requirements. Is it worth getting a better quality of health for you and your family? And definitely it is. And if you're going to live a healthier life, and a longer life most likely, wouldn't it be nice to have some finance to go with it? Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Also, too, if people like you, they'll listen to you. If they trust you, they'll do business with you. Know you, like you, trust you. Now, this doesn't have to take a long time. If people like you, you could have this beautiful smile on your face, you know, attracting people, that positive energy where people are just drawn to you. And you know, it's about sharing some information and really caring about what they're saying and listening to them and really do care about their lives. And, then, it takes 5 to 7 exposures typically before people make a decision. So in that process of it, they build that trust. So I have found, because I do a lot of work on social media, that it is this kind of process, but you could establish it very quickly, or just even when you're doing business out doing business. I think that there's different techniques, and that's what you can learn to apply this strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. And become a master and teacher of the strategy, not the strategy. That's the strategy. Oh my God. And you've got to simplify to multiply. We have 2 words that if you're going to take anything away from you, it's keep it simple and duplicate. And if you can simplify the information that we have, we don't talk about a lot of the product. We don't talk about the science on the initial invite. We don't talk about this and that. We show the videos. We send information to people. Anybody can send information to people through email or WhatsApp, depending on what country you're being in. And that is a simple process that can be duplicated. And you can multiply it with your team. And once you become a master and teacher of this strategy, then you're going to find that your business is going to go into momentum. And that's the key and the cornerstone to success in this business, to simplify and duplicate.
And that's when it gets exciting, really exciting. So if you treat it like your business like a hobby, it's not going to pay you like a big business. So that's why when you're prospecting, it really is important to have that conversation of what a person's expectations are. How much time do they have to put in the business? Are they expecting to spend 2 hours and become a diamond in a year? Well, that's going to be very, very difficult to do. So it really is about the plan. It's about really working with your mentor to identify how much time is going to be required to do the business and to achieve your goals.
And help, this is important. There's only 5 words here, but this is so important. Help those that are ready. Don't spend time on people that are not. Now, I didn't say ignore them. I'm saying put them on the back burner, look after them, talk with them, maintain the relationship. But spend the time with those people that are ready, those people that are not just interested, that are committed. The difference between interested and committed, interested people will do the business when it serves them, when it's convenient for them. People who are committed are the people that are ready to do the business all the time. And those are the people that get on these calls, go to the events, rub shoulders with the Eagles, go to the 19th and 20th of July event, and what have you. These are the people you spend time with.
That's right. So along that line, it doesn't matter the size of the audience. What matters is the size of the commitment. So that's what I really have learned over time. Because even if one person shows up, that's great. Because I used to get disappointed with that, and now I don't. I welcome that because I can spend that time with that person that has shown up and committed themselves to that, because I can work with that person. I can, tap into their 200 connections that they have. They are the willing. They're ready. Those are the people that are going to help you succeed in your business. So just, never think about that. The people that are right in front of you, and I congratulate every one of you on this live call tonight and those that are going to be listening to the recording, that you want something different for your life. You're here, you're committed, and you're focused.
Consistency is power. Victory does not come overnight. And we have a lot of people that want their, the 5-minute popcorn in 3 minutes. It's not going to happen. They think it's a get-rich-quick scheme, a money-making situation where they don't have to do a lot of the activity. And my goodness, that 4-letter word they don't want to hear, W-O-R-K. Yeah, it takes work. You got to shake the trees and shake the bushes. You got to talk to people. And it's consistent. And you do it day in and day out. Just a little bit of something every day. Maintain it a priority in your life. As you do life, you do max. You don't have to make time for max. You can get out there and do max as you're doing shopping, as you're at the gym, as you're at church, as you're at work, depending on what work you're at. Be careful. But you know what? You can do it. And victory does not come overnight, but it will come if you maintain that constant delivery of talking to people, sharing the information, sharing the product, and introducing yourself to them and building relationships.
So the next point, it's easier to give birth than to raise the dead.
I love it.
because it's true. And I'm finding that, you see, as time goes on, we all will face challenges. We do in organizations. And sometimes people get stuck on those challenges instead of just driving their business, you know, looking at the positive side, being focused, commitment, driving to get their dream life, and they get stuck. So what is important is they're constantly fueling your business with that new associate that's eager, that's excited, that's going to lead you to some other great leaders. And that's what I have discovered, because now as I continue to move forward, this is what I'm realizing is so important.
Yeah, you can't sell a dream if you look like a nightmare. I love this one. You got to be dressed for the occasion, guys, even when you go out grocery shopping. I mean, you don't have to wear a suit and tie when you go grocery shopping, but you've got to, or a formal dress for the ladies, but you've got to look sharp. You know, you've got to look as if you are a businesswoman or a businessman internationally. And, you know, we don't do that a lot in Canada. My goodness, in other countries, they dress to the nines all the time. But in Canada and the United States, we don't do that. But if you've got something that you want them to get involved with, and they have a dream, make sure they're not looking at a nightmare. And if they're going to look at you, make it worth their while. Because you know what? A good pair of shoes, your nails done, your hair combed, your makeup, you know, for the guys, no, for the girls, you know, you gotta make sure you look good. And it's important. And that's just one thing. You've got to also have the posture. You've got to have that confident look, that confident posture, that suave, that wonderful, attractive way of being able to talk with people, which doesn't come right away. You've got to work on it. And as you mentioned, Kelly, the smile goes a long way. Looking into their eyes, and you know what? People will open up, and then you can start talking. Not about Max, but you can start talking and get a relationship going, a business relationship, and build confidence and trust.
Absolutely. I mean, if people stare at me, then I certainly look at that as an opportunity to strike up a conversation because I'm curious. Also, too, I might be wearing a Max T-shirt or something that gives them something to stare at. So I always use it as a marketing tool. The next point, time will promote you or expose you. Always remain a student, remain humble, and remember where you came from. And that is really important. You want to do this business with ethics, and that's what I mean by over time expose you. If you are just cutting corners, you're trying to fast track up to success, it doesn't work, because you work in and become part of these leadership roles. It's really you can't fast track that. And you know, in terms of the training and the things and you know that people are excited, they listen to you, become that leader, and to remain humble is so important. Not to have that attitude of that, but always being that grateful person for the person that brought you in, for how many lives that we're changing around the world, both from a financial and a health perspective. So that's a really important factor.
Yeah, and I was one step behind you there, Kelly, so you're going to have to fire me here, so I'm sorry. I just got it on there. Remain humble and remember where you came from. But there we are. But you know what? Great stars attract long journeys, and long journeys prepare great stars. You know, have fun while you're doing Max. This is not a stressful business unless you make it stressful. Enjoy the learning journey. Enjoy the fact that, you know, you're going to university in Max, and you're not borrowing money to do it. You're not paying out money on a regular basis and not getting paid. You can learn and earn at the same time. You can learn and earn as you're doing Max, and we have a lot of income tax benefits for doing Max, and we can get through that in another time. But the grass is not always necessarily greener elsewhere. A lot of people look for other things, not realizing they're sitting on a gold mine here in Max, and it is a gold mine. But what we have the best nutraceutical in the world, and we're the only company that can do this, bar none, anywhere. So stay focused and stay the course.
And it's important to note that not everyone will do this business, but anyone can. I think anyone can do anything that they want in life if they really want it bad enough, if they prioritize it. And some people might not see the value because the industry is a lot of upfront work. But the end result is that you can be paid a lifetime of residual income. So that's where it comes in. It's important to keep on giving birth to those new associates and keeping that positive energy and keep on growing. And just, just being that positive person for yourself, for your team, for your family, and just work with the people that are willing.
So basically, stay plugged into the system. And this is our last slide, guys. I know we went over a bit of time here, but I think it's worth it on this because it's a very important session. We've got audios, we've got the books, we've got the videos, you've got training modules, you've got webinars, live events, the one coming up on July 19th and 20th. Kelly, we can talk about that. And leverage yourself. Plug your team into the system because you want to duplicate these events and have your team come with you. Kelly, do you have any final words?
I think it's just important, this very slide, to plug into the system, because when you do, then you are tapped into all the great minds, whether they're the books, the audios, whether your team, members that...
Cancel my plans for today. I'm not feeling 100%.
Like in stress is plug into the system, do your business every day, and surround yourself with brilliance.
Absolutely, Kelly. Well, listen, we've gone over time here. Again, I think it's worth it to do the success cycle. Next week, we're going to be doing the NAO with Kelly and Linda, and I'll be hosting it, and it'll be a great call, give you an idea of what's going on in that area. My name is Paul Tesseyman. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Kelly?
And thanks, everyone, and keep on going with the Max Canadian Summit, July 19th, 20th in Toronto. Keep driving this. This is a corporate-free event, and you're going to have an incredible time. These are the things that are going to drive your business. This is where you need to be if you want to succeed in Max. So thanks, everyone, for joining us. Have a great night.
Always a pleasure and honor, Kelly. All the best, everybody. Have a great evening and a successful week. Good night.
Thanks, Paul. Bye-bye.